concrete bed.
Yes.
To find someone you love, you gotta be someone you love.
Well, I guess it seems pretty simple at first, and someone did an interview with us in France and sat down in front of me and said, "Do pop lyrics have to be simple?" I said, I don't know. I don't think necessarily. And he said, "That first song, Concrete Bed, those words are so simple." I couldn't deny it, but the thing about that song is it's not the typical expression of "you need to love yourself." You know, it's not that. It's not a question of changing what you think. It's that ideally changing who you are would be great. Maybe not for you, maybe you don't need to, but I wish I could change who I was. And I think if I really lived up to my own standards, you know, if I could do in reality what I think I should do on paper, you know, I mean, I could write down and say, every day I should X, Y, Z.
Yeah, but
I should always yada, yada, yada. And I absolutely don't. And I think maybe until I do that, I'll always be looking for completion from someone else, when that's not fair to someone else to look for completion.
it's true, but you can
know.
also think, well, you have to live up to your own standards.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it, but the other way can be lower your own standards.
I knew you were going to say that.
Okay.
And that's the point. That's why I'm saying, well, I haven't really said anything. I think that's what I'm addressing. When you mention those lyrics, I feel defensive, and I think I should tell you. Excuse me, Mr. Microphone. The others, you know, that what I'm really talking about is wishing I could change.
Because the lyrics some deal with, I think, with a lost relationship and the aftermath of it. I think. Because there was another one, you were saying, always love, to make a mountain of your life is just a choice. I think that's the same.
It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
That's been running through all our songs, and someone...
Why is it...
Why is that theme?
Is it more, let's say, the theme now with the last few years, or has it always been the case?
That's always been a theme from the very beginning. Even there's a song called The Plan, which is on our first album, and it's the first song, and it says, there's a way to drive, I see it once in a while, I watch the taillights and memorize, and it's just another metaphor for the same thing, which is a lifetime frustration with the difference between what I want to do and what I do, and what I should do and what I do, and what would be a good idea and what actually happens, you know.
Okay, let me then rephrase the question. What would you want yourself to do?
Well, every part of this answer is going to sound either corny or new age or whatever. I wish I could stick to moments of epiphany. You know what an epiphany...
Sorry, I don't...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Epiphany is that moment you have when all of a sudden everything seems clear, and you go, right. Being alive is so good and so amazing, and I'm so lucky that I should be every moment wanting to learn more and give more and write back to my aunt, who I haven't written to in 2 years, a proper letter, you know, things like that.
How often do you have that moment?
Not often enough. There's only once that I scheduled one, and that was skydiving.
Okay.
Because you're sure to have an epiphany when you jump out of a plane.
Well,
There's really no other way.
Okay, well, I haven't done it, but...
Yeah, but it's the only time I could say, it's Sunday at 4 o'clock I will have an epiphany.
Okay, yeah.
But I think the thing is, I'm certainly not manic depressive. It's nothing like that, but I tend to bounce back and forth between some kind of hyperactivity and some kind of paralysis.
But have you come to terms with it, or is it?
I'm trying to, and songwriting helps. It really helps. Always Love, in that song, that's an idealized version of what I think, because I believe in the sentiment of that song, and what the sentiment is, always love because hate will get you every time, which means that even though it's good to show emotion and you shouldn't suppress things, the thing about anger is that the more you indulge in it, the better you get at it. you know, in the sense that you get good at what you practice, you know. And if you let yourself be very angry, it's some kind of poison, you know?
I know what you mean, yeah.
It really is. Now, in the song, you would think that the narrator or the voice of the song is someone who says, oh, you must always love, you must never hate, and it's very easy in big blocks, and that's not true. I do have anger. I wrote that song in a moment when I was trying to choose. You know, I'd had something... Oh, go ahead.
No, because there is I think what you're trying to tell is maybe this line, but I never learned enough to listen to the voice of
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, it's pathetically simple, isn't it? I just write it out.
No, but it's okay. But
yeah.
I think that's what you mean, yes?
Yeah, it is exactly what I mean. It was a moment when I had experienced something difficult from the exterior. It's something I couldn't control. Something bad happened to me, and I could either be very angry or I could move on. I had a friend who meditated a lot, and I tried it for a couple of mornings. You know, you sit down and you try and think of nothing, and if you think of something, you give that thought a name. You say, oh, I'm thinking about the fact that I haven't done my taxes and I feel bad about it, and you send that thought away. And the next, and then you throw a glass. And then the next thought that comes along, you give it you give it a name and you send it away. And I wasn't very good at it, but I was asking my friend, how, you know, can you sum up the principle that helps you through life? And he was saying, imagine that you're on a lake and you're rowing a boat and it's very foggy, and another boat comes along out of the fog and hits your boat. And you don't sink, but there's some kind of damage and, you know, you're shocked. If that boat is empty, you think, oh, where did this boat come from? Maybe I should row it back to shore. What a mystery. If someone's in that boat, you think, why can't you be careful? Why did he run into my boat? What the hell is going on? And you have anger, but in fact, the physical act was exactly the same. There's no difference.
I know, Jim, but isn't it sometimes being angry, it's also sometimes a way to cope with things?
Yes.
Or do you
Absolutely.
agree?
I agree completely, but it's tricky. There's a fine line, and when you click over, you don't necessarily know, because anger is so
But
it's so easy.
But do you have a lot of anger then in you, or is it something you are afraid of?
I don't. I don't know. I don't have very many outbursts, and I don't think I'm a particularly angry person. But this record a lot is just about dealing with circumstance and dealing with trouble and how you deal with it. When things happen in life that are difficult, and invariably they're coming, you know. I hate to sound like either like a goth or a fatalist, but, you know, when I was 17, I wrote down a little list, for no reason, you know, I wrote down a little list of things that I knew were going to happen in life. I will be very, very sick a few times. I will have my heart broken a few times. Relatives of mine will die. I will probably break a bone. I will probably be in a violent incident. I will be the victim of a crime. These are things that there's really no avoiding. They are all coming down the pike, you know. And even though there's a constant thread through all our songs, which is this obsession from the beginning, why is it that I cannot be who I want to be when technically I'm in charge? Who's driving? Who? It's nobody else. It should be me. I should be at the wheel, you know. There's that, and then the other, not theme, but the other attitude that runs throughout is that existential questions inside. You know, what are my insecurities? Where do they come from? Do I feel like I'm here? Do I feel like I'm alive? Etc., etc. But on this record, there's a lot of I had a pretty difficult year last year of my personal life, and I didn't have as much time as I used to for existential questions. I was more just dealing with some shit, some real stuff, and that's why. And the title of the record, "The Weight Is a Gift," has to do with
do it again.
Exactly. Maybe this weight was a gift, like I had to see what I could lift. Was trying very hard to squeeze something good out of a difficult moment, and to appreciate one of the good byproducts of trouble is that you pick yourself up and you put it back together and you keep going.
No, but the thing is, because in the song Do It Again, it's more like a question. Maybe it is, maybe this weight is a gift. But the album is the weight is a gift.
Yeah, grammatically that's it's true, but actually in the song it's a statement. It's just
it is a gift.
Yes, it is. Or you know, I'm hoping it is, and then by the time it was time to give the album a title, maybe I'd come to that conclusion.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Well,
yeah.
And the thing is, well, you were talking about life, and the last quote from a song before I go into to the normal questions. All is a game, life is a game you forgot to play.
Yes.
Do you have a chance often?
Yes. Well, there's that, and there's another. You know, it's embarrassing how simple a record looks when you break it down. You're like, no, but it's true. No. I'm saying this myself. I'm saying it. You know, don't worry, please. Yeah. But there's also a line in Do It Again that says, like a 25-cent game. I say. Yeah. And what I'm thinking about there, and also in All Is a Game, is, in a way, let's say video games. I really don't play them very much. I did when I was 14 and 15. I like Defender, you know. But in video games, you never really second guess yourself, and you never flirt with disaster. At no point in a video game do you say, oh, my health is down to 16%, and here's this health pellet. I don't feel like eating it. You know what I mean? In a video game, you act deliberately. And back to that original question of control, if only you could live your life like a video game, it would be rather simple, you know, because you need to be good to the people around you, you need to be healthy, you need to get some money because it represents some kind of security, so you need to work hard. You know, it's all very deliberate. In a video game, there's no waking up in the morning and saying, I don't feel like going out and shooting monsters. I'm just going to sit here. You know, you don't just hold the joystick still.
I know what you mean, but a video excludes some kind of emotions.
Yeah, right. So am I wishing I was an automaton? No,
okay.
You're quite right.